I was scrolling through Netflix the other day, just trying to find some show to watch, and I stumbled upon the show called Dandadan, which was actually way better than I expected it to be. I didn't know what to expect. I just saw it was like, the description was like kids fighting aliens or something like that. I was like, that sounds kind of interesting. And then I found out that it was about the occult, and I'm like, I've been in the occult type of realm where like the weird, let's do this, OCCO, occults. I mean, that's an ocelot. It's occult. There we go. Occult. A range of supernatural or esoteric beliefs and practices that are often outside of organized religion and science. And this is basically exactly what this anime was about. And I want to talk about a couple of different things within the anime because I thought it was really quite interesting. I will probably do multiple different episodes around this. I touched on a couple of these on this anime recently in a couple of different videos around the psychics. Because these things are real, they're legit. Once you start to experience them and explore them a little bit more in depth, and I'll give you a personal story from my own life as well too, along with like the anime, because it's just interesting being able to see how these things truly do exist in our world and in our reality. It's just most of us are blind to this experience because we aren't aware of it. So like that first episode begins with her and the kid, the boy, which is right here, where they're like, he doesn't believe in aliens, or he doesn't believe in ghosts, where she doesn't believe in aliens, but then like they both get abducted. Like she gets abducted by aliens, and then he gets abducted by or possessed by a ghost, which then comes to show her that like, oh, I've had this whole different power within me this whole different time, and like she's actually way stronger than she ever was because her grandma was a medium, was a psychic, which I was talking in videos a couple weeks ago or days ago. Which I just find where it's just like, my grandma is an honest to God medium, which she's not fake. She thinks that she was, but it's just like she wasn't. Perhaps the female human's brainwaves are overstimulated, granting access to her chakras, because our chakras, which if we look up chakras as well, so CHAR chakras, if I can spell, let's do it this way, CHAR chakras. So chakras are, that's not what I want. What are we looking for? Chakra. Hey, that works. I mean, hold on. That's not right. What are we looking for? There we go. Okay. So if she's not fake, CHAKA. So I know these things, but I don't want the shock. There we go. Sorry about that, you guys. A domestic spinning wheel. So it's basically, you have multiple different chakras in your body, and you want to clear them up so that you can free up your different minds, so you can have a different understanding. And it's about unlocking the different chakras within yourself so that you can have like a smooth flowing river within your own psyche, within your own mind, which most people don't have that. But like once you do unlock that, and once you do say like pour all your chi and shooting up through the top of your crown, then you're able to like imagine yourself grasping on these different straws in all these different ways that I didn't originally know in the first place. But it's really cool because it's just like, he's like, wait, you never said that you had psychic powers. And it's just like, wait, hold on, you have psychic powers? It's like, I didn't know I had them either. And most of us don't know that we have psychic powers, but I've been able to understand like many of us do have psychic powers. It's just we have been told that like these things aren't real, these things don't exist because we can't prove it with science. But then I look back at like the yogis and the people in the East, where it's just like they've been able to prove and see these things hundreds of thousands of years prior than we ever have beforehand. So it's like it starts down at the bottom, I have, and then it's like I feel this way, and it's just like I love, I speak, I see, and I know. And you want to work through all of your chakras to be able to get to the place where like you can have a full wheel of being able to like, I have done this, I feel this way, I can achieve this, I love this type of person, I speak the truth, I see things that others don't see, and now I know that this is possible. And by having these multiple different levels, then all of a sudden you can break free from the binds that you've been in. Like you can break free from this chair that was holding you hostage, that was holding you captive, that didn't allow you to be free in the ways that you have always known that you could be free in, because somebody told you that you didn't have these powers yet. Being able to look at somebody that has been able to see that strength within yourself, which is exactly what I do. You can always book these calls down below, because in all likelihood you have had people in your life that haven't built you up, that haven't helped you out in the ways that you wanted to be helped out in. Maybe there's that one member of your personal life that you have had, because like hers was her grandma, which is like, that's why she's able to realize that like she can possess these other beings, because she knows that she can within her heart, because she decided to like grasp at. And she's like, well, what happened? And she's like, I don't know. Perhaps the female human's brainwaves were overstimulated. She's like, wow, this is amazing. This is such a cool thing. Because we have this unlimited ability within our own minds. Like our brains have 100 billion neurons, which is almost more stars in the entire Milky Way galaxy. So it's almost like, did we create the Milky Way galaxy or did the Milky Way galaxy create us? There's no way of really knowing other than like you just experimenting and testing it with yourself. And realizing that like none of this is fake. So it's like I ran into this woman where she was a medium as well too. And dude, the things that she was able to do, they just baffled me. They blew my mind. I was like, how are you able to know this thought that I have beforehand? But then I was like, well, I've also been able to know other people's thoughts before they've had them as well too. And I'm like, well, that's kind of neat. So it's like I also have powers as well too. So like we all have these powers. It's just most of the time we use our rational mind to rationalize, well, this can't be true. Like this isn't right. So this is what I was talking about in the last video that I did around like removing reason, because like if you're able to remove your reason, then you can create this whole different reality that you didn't even know existed in the first place. And I say start small, like test these things out first. Be like, okay, well, hey, can I create something that I've never seen? Or like, hey, can I create a little rubber ducky? So like imagine yourself like sitting down after you watch this video and like holding a rubber ducky in your hand and then like just going on with your normal day. Don't think about it. Don't think anything else of it. And then all of a sudden you'll just be like, you'll find a rubber ducky and then you'll come back to this video and be like, dude, like I found a rubber ducky. Like it might not be the exact one that you visualize within your head, but it will be something at least somewhat similar. It might not be the same size. I remember the first time I did it, it was just like on the ground. I was like, okay, this is a trip. And I was like, now I have it with me. Or like when I took mushrooms one day and I was going on a walk and I was like, I'm really hungry. And then I got a Kinder Egg, like just out of the blue. And I was like, okay, well, hey, that's cool. I was like, I'm really thirsty. And then there's like an unopened water bottle that's just there. And I'm like, this is so fun. This is so exciting. This is so cool. So I had to take time to explore this because I'm like, if mediums are real, if this like exists within our own capable being of us being able to build up on these said things, then I might as well share these things. I might as well get everything that I want and be like aware of what I am aware of. So now it's like I got the power to take out these crepes, which is fantastic because it's like now that you have the power and you have the understanding, you can defeat any enemy that stands within your own way because nothing is truly inherently out to get you. It's just you trying to test yourself. At least that's how it always has been for me, is like I'm testing myself with this person that comes into my life. Okay, have I learned? Have I changed? If not, then it's like, all right, now I need to reflect in a little bit of a different way. I'm stronger than I ever thought I was, and I can actually send them flying because like it shows you this clip right here of her kicking this dude, and it goes back to this frame is because when she originally kicked the guy, like she didn't have the strength or the power to push him, but now she realizes that like, oh, this is just like, it's the same dude, he's an alien to me, so that means that like I do have the strength to be able to send them flying and I can beat this jerk out of the blue, which is a different way of looking at it. You could be like, no, it's just the same clip, like it's just like it was just the same scene, but it's just like, no, like her kicking the alien guy is her kicking this dude as well too, because all the events are the same regardless of where you're from and where you're going, which I just find that incredibly fun and exciting. And then like they go on this whole little spiel of like crashing and burning and all this other stuff because like I don't know if you've seen that as well too, but people think that there's aliens in the moon, which there very well could be, or they could be down on Earth. We don't know unless you do know, and then you test it out and you find other people that like they channeled certain aliens or they channeled these different events. And they're able to use the psychic mediums and pick up on different frequencies and pick up on different experiences, but they first had to clear their chakras and get into the state of knowing before anything else. Most people, they won't go through the feeling or the love or the speak or the seeing or the knowing because they're open to those different experiences. Where like I've always been open to these different experiences, and that's why I say like ask yourself or just like visualize yourself and just be like, hey, I'd like to see things that I've never seen beforehand. I ended up seeing a hairless cat. I'd never seen a hairless cat. So like I stopped seeing Dalmatians for the longest time, and then I started seeing Dalmatians again. Like I wanted to go and experience things that I had never experienced beforehand. So I just started to do more and more and more of that. And that's been my whole like trajectory of the things that I have been going on and the things that I'm hopefully inspiring you to test out and try as well too, is because like watching Dandadan, such a cool anime. I didn't think anything of it until I watched it and I was like, okay, this is pretty sick. It's very colorful, it's very out there, it's a little bit different from some other animes that I've watched beforehand, but it's very exciting. Like it's really cool seeing the concepts and the ideas and how she's more into like the physical, like the spiritual stuff, whereas he's more into like the aliens. And like they both didn't really have friends, and I can touch on that a little bit later. Well, she kind of did have a friend, but like she was always made fun of for doing the things that she did. Like he never really had friends. Like having somebody that like came in and was like interested in like having these conversations. And there's another video that I can do later, which I probably will. So you'll want to subscribe to the channel with notifications on and make sure that you don't miss that, especially if you made it to this point in the video, because I just find this is so cool being able to see like these type of events and these types of stories and seeing how like there are people interested in like the occult or ghosts or demons or whatever, not demons, but like gods and like the good things out there. Like even though they were kind of demons because they're like ghosts in a sense, but like they also aren't like bad necessarily unless you make them bad. And that's why like me having like energy work from other mediums that I have experienced in the real world, and then being able to see somebody turn this into an anime, and you could be like, this is just an anime. But it's like these stories, they're based in reality. Like they are based in some sort of reality because you are creating them. It's just we don't have the mental means to be able to describe them in like an actual show or something like that, because like their energies, their wavelengths, their vibrations, there's something that you can only ever see in your head. So like I'm working with a buddy right now, a friend of mine. I'm like, hey dude, like if you can show me like the visualization thing that you have in your head, like that'd be great, because I'm like, I can't see what you see, but the only way that we can is like through an animation, because animation gives us so much more creativity and ability to create something than anything else does. So like if you're able to create something out of nothing, then like by all means give it a go. It's what I'm doing with this channel. It's what I do with the words that I speak. It's what I'm hopefully inspiring you to go do as well too. Like if you have the ability to draw or create or animate these things, like by all means share them, like do that. Like try it. Like you don't know where it's going to take you. It could take you down a most amazing, wonderful, beautiful, wonderful route. And there may be some times when you're running and you're frightful of your own life, but then there's going to be other times where it's just like you get level ups. So if you want to have these level ups, if you want to do these things, like you have every right and every power, and you are entitled to these as much as anybody else is. So don't let somebody else tell you that you can't do it just because like you're constrained to this chair. Like if you have the ability to imagine yourself free, you're already free.